Alright, well, usually I'm posting some fun video or some informative video, but today I want to be a little bit more serious. And you could tell because I'm just wearing a robe that I don't care. But do you guys feel like battlegrounds games on Roblox in general are dying? Like, not just JJS, but you can see it all over the community. I mean, I guess not TSB because somehow they still have 150k players all the time. But I know it's not only me who thinks this because you can see the player base slowly decreasing over time, which is inevitable for any Roblox game ever, honestly. But what are the reasons as to why the game is dying? Now, it's definitely a mixture of various reasons, but these things definitely contribute to why it's happening. So Jujutsu Shenanigans, for example, what is the thing that's killing the player base? And it's harsh to say because we know how hard Z works and how talented he is, but there's a lack of content on the game. Now, that's not to blame because of him. When you have a battlegrounds game, what are you really doing? You're just fighting the whole time, right? That's the point of it. There's an open map, there's a whole bunch of people, you can pick different characters and you fight, and you get good at the game, you get more kills, and hopefully you get in-game incentives like cosmetic changes or aura or whatever the hell there is. But because there's a lack of content, the younger audience is not as grabbed onto it because it's not that eye-catching. Now, JJS is an amazing game. It genuinely is. It's a game that I've had so much fun playing, and to this day I still have fun playing. Also, because of the lack of content in-game and the competitiveness of the scene, it's hard for us content creators to make something creative. Now, that's not a bad thing. That's mainly on us, I'm not gonna lie, because some of us could do more, some of us are doing a lot, it doesn't matter. But the ideas and the challenges and the video concepts have been done before. It's very competitive. JJS has hundreds of creators, if not dozens, that are well known. Off the top of my head, you have people like Yami, Purple Guy, and the list goes on. And those guys, you can see on their channels that they're starting to post different games other than JJS, which is valid. It's 100% valid. But when you build up an audience on one community, that audience only looks at your content for those things. So it makes it quite difficult for these guys to transition into other games or be entertaining in other games when they fully devoted themselves to Jujutsu Shenanigans. Now, that's on the content creator side. Even I have fallen victim to that before in the past with Blox Fruits, and now currently Jujutsu Shenanigans. So what's happening right now is there are content creators. I know there's a guy out there who does the like Sukuna Heian era versus the lobby, and that stuff is amazing. But as a content creator, you don't want to compete with that. Maybe sometimes out of pride because you don't want to copy somebody. Maybe sometimes not even that, just because somebody else is doing it and they're succeeding with it, you're unsure if you're going to be able to do the same. So there's things like that. Everybody is doing their own thing in different ways, me with my explained videos, and it doesn't push the content backwards, it actually pushes it forwards to be more creative, but it's only so limited to what's in the game. Now, that truly is a smaller problem when you really think about it, because one thing that plagues anything in life is repetitiveness, and that is a very key point to video games in general, not just Roblox. But the idea of just fighting over and over and over again will eventually become repetitive if something doesn't change along the process. Obviously, Z has added new characters, Perfection, Blood Manipulator, now Switcher, and he's trying his best. It's not to fault any one specific party or person, but the idea of battlegrounds has been around for probably a little over a year now in like the mainstream of things, and people are probably tired of just killing somebody with a combo, trying a new combo, doing things like that. You know what I mean? And because of the repetition, the people who do grind through it, they're getting better and better at the game, which is not a problem. But if you go on a JJS server nowadays, 2,000 kills is not a lot. I remember when I used to have 2,000 kills, I would always be #1 in the lobby. Nowadays, I join and I'm like 3rd or 4th because people have 3,000, 4,000, sometimes 5,000 kills, and it's not rare to see, which again is not a problem. But majority of the player base of these games are casual players. They're younger kids who just hop on the game to have some fun with their friends or by themselves. And it's not that fun for them when they hop on the game and somebody with 4,000, 5,000 kills just absolutely smokes them. Now, what do you do about that? Honestly, not much. You have ranked. There is ranked in Jujutsu Shenanigans, but that doesn't stop those people from playing in open servers or making alt accounts and still doing the same thing. So the lack of content creators struggling, the game feeling repetitive, and the skill gap increasing are all things that contribute to the slow decline of the game, which I don't think the game's dead right now. And by any means, I don't think the game will die anytime soon. I'm just saying that we can clearly see that the trajectory of the game has has changed recently. And on top of that, it's the start of the new year. Usually things are slow in any business around, so it makes a lot of sense. But again, this is not really a JJS problem. It's a battlegrounds game problem in general. I think the community is a little bit tired of the scheme of battleground games. And this started even before JJS was created. I think that JJS was the game that actually revitalized battlegrounds. The only difference is that JJS brought something new to battleground games and innovated it. So that made it feel fresh, but how long could that freshness last for? For a battlegrounds games to compete with the best of the best, it has to do something different. For example, the Mastery and Heroes battlegrounds, the cutscenes in the Strongest battlegrounds, and originally the destruction physics of Jujutsu Shenanigans. And on top of that, Roblox as a platform is limited in its development, meaning that these developers can only play around with so much without having to invest a lot of resources to push the boundaries. Of course, we have the games on Roblox that are insane, like Deep Woken and some of these other ones. Those are amazing, but those are also still limited by the platform. On top of that, the developers could also see battleground games as a quick, rich scheme, which it's really not. You have to put in incredible hours of work to do things like this, but you know that it's going to generate revenue. So if the clock isn't broken, don't fix it. So because people want to keep trying these battleground games, the developers will keep making them and keeping them stale as they are. So what's the solution? Really, there isn't a solution. I think one thing that is secretly contributing to the decline of battleground games is the fact that there are not a lot of popping games on Roblox right now. If there was more to do, more to play, you would be able to take your break from your battlegrounds games, do those things, and then come back to it with a fresh mind. But Roblox is a little dead right now in general, so it's hard to do that. So is there anything that can be done? I'm not sure. Do I think Jujutsu Shenanigans is dead? Definitely not. Do I think battlegrounds are dead? Definitely not. But you could definitely see the atmosphere changing from what it used to be a year ago. But maybe I'm overreacting, maybe I'm dramatic because I myself am a Jujutsu Shenanigans content creator. So you guys let me know down in the comments below what you think. How do you feel about Jujutsu Shenanigans? Do you still play? Do you play any other battlegrounds games? Are there any on the rise? What do you do when you're not playing a battlegrounds game on Roblox right now? And where do you see the game by halfway this year? Do you see it going crazier? Do you see it staying stagnant, or do you see it getting worse? Because I'm not really sure, but none of us can predict the future. We just got to leave it in their hands and see where it goes. But I'm sorry if I was being too serious in this video. It's been on my mind because me myself have been struggling to be creative on the game and make videos for it. You can see in my past few videos, it's kind of informative videos with me trying to be creative and it not really working, which I don't mind. I love just playing the game and having fun and posting the things I enjoy. It doesn't always have to be some crazy banger that goes insane. That's pretty much all for today. We are still on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Please do not forget that. The Mafia and I are on a journey. We're trying to hit this way before the year ends. So let's get this thing going. We're at 50,000 and we're halfway there. If you want to be a part of this journey early on and let all your friends know that you knew Millz way before everybody, then you should subscribe right now. Because you could always unsubscribe at any time if you don't like me. But if you want to watch a funny video where I was putting kids on billboards after killing them, then it'll be on the screen right here. And in a moment, another video will pop up on your screen you should probably go check out. Millz Mafia out. Yeah.